Ukrainian troops and Russian-backed separatists have begun a delicate withdrawal from a key town in the country's east, sparking hopes of a renewed peace process. The Ukrainian Army announced a pullback from the town of Zolote had begun on Tuesday night, while separatists said they were also complying. The withdrawal was a precondition for the participation of Russian President Vladimir Putin in peace talks. Resolving the conflict has been a key policy of the former comedian turned President Zelensky, who won a shock election earlier this year. Well, joining me now in the studio to discuss this is our correspondent, Natalia Lyubachenkova. Morning to you.
Good morning.
Some are optimistic that this pullback might restart the peace process. What are the chances of that?
This can be considered as some sort of a progress because there's so much more happening politically now than, let's say, half a year ago. Whether the talks will happen or not, we cannot be quite sure. The Ukrainian side, the head of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says that the international talks in so-called Normandy 4 format in the presence of Germany, Russia, Ukraine and France might happen already in November. Whether they happen or not, we cannot be sure of 100% because that's not the first time. There is some predictions that might happen soon, but they didn't happen since 2016.
In amongst the optimism, what are the dangers of this pullback?
There are a lot of people who are concerned about these moves. There are a lot of people who support them. So what actually happens on the ground when this is happening? So when the troops withdraw, there is a so-called gray zone that we have in between the troops, and no one with the gun can actually be there. So there are some houses that are actually also that end up in this gray zone, and their fear is, notably in Zolote, that Russian-backed separatists will change their mind and there will be no one who can actually save them from some consequences if someone actually attacks them or they finally see those militia on their doorstep. Also, there are some open pro-Ukrainian activists in the region, and they're afraid of revenge. And if there will be no soldiers or no Ukrainian troops who will guard their safety in the gray zone. So the main concern is safety in this case.
Safety for the people, but how popular is this idea in Ukraine?
So there are a lot of people who are tired of war and they are happy with any sort of move. They see something happening already, they see some steps forward and they're happy with it, while there are a lot of people that are concerned about this, notably some soldiers in the army who say, like, we fought for years to gain this ground, and now we are just moving backwards without any reason. So will we have to fight again for this territory? We don't know, and they oppose this move, and one of those people who oppose this move.